just ride on. Yeah. They can hit himself. Okay. Yep. To the road where that's plugged in correctly up. Yeah. Goes on and off. And nothing. Checking it out. The input too. It looks like it's trying to get signal. Yep. Yeah. It just says arc and then it's got.
Welcome to Warrior Park, ladies and gentlemen. Here we have the Olympia FC hosting Beachside in the round of 16 of the Lakoseljac Cup. Of course, as you're aware, should this game be tied up and a draw at 90 minutes, it will be into extra time, and then if it's still a draw, we'll be deciding the game via the penalty spot.
Yeah, it's on his max. Yeah, it's on 10.
And we'll read out the team sheets while the players get ready. Team sheet for Beachside, number 8, Brett Andrews, number 9, Matthew Bomford, number 13, Harry Brown, number 22, Oliver Burton, number 1, Felix Charles, number 4, David Cox, number 20, William Ellis, number 21, Ash Fisher, number 6, Luigi Ferrazio, number 10, Adam Matola, number 24, Raymond Ward, number 23, Nicholas Hall, number 19, Marcus Moore, number 3, Joel Schuth, number 18, Andrew Taylor, and number 7, Ben Whitehall. We'll now hand it over to the players and referee for a second. Team sheet for Olympia FC, number 13, Brayton Allen, number 17, Callum Brown, number 15, Declan Brown, number 3, Benjamin Curtis, number 8, Lloyd Farrell.
So many answers about 11:30, so it'll be more. Testing on. That's going through. Oh, excellent. Right, just in time. You got it, did you, lad?
Warrior Park, may the best team win and may the best team be your Olympia FC Warriors.
He's here for kick-off.
I'm going to call on Tony.
No time for a pre-game here. A few issues with the microphones and stuff at Warrior Park, but I think you hear us. Anyway, we're underway. The final game of the day, Lakoseljac Cup, 7.166. Championship game. It's the Olympia Warriors. It's the champions out on the pitch for the game since they take on a Beachside team who are not yet up for the cup ball run.
They certainly are, and good evening one and all out there. Pleasure to be back on the mic at this time of year. And as you mentioned before, PLV Southern Championship chance for a cup set for a giant killing. We've seen a Southern Championship team in position today. Obviously getting up for Riverside Olympic. Warriors are going to be red hot favourites for this one, but you never know who's there. It's an opportunity of the day. Back to the Frenchman like Farrell. Castle from Bomford over at Beachside. For a throw. Warriors on the far side. There's Beachside just about doing off with. I think that's Cox coming across. Still also one of the issues, a couple of team sheet related issues as well being sprung on us with a minute to go, so apologies to any Beachside players that we may take a minute or two just to get readjusted. The ball now fish out in the deep dark corner of Warrior Park. Or at least it was Ash Fisher as Warriors battling to get the ball back. Brown coming in. Swung across by Farrell. O'Connor to big Jack Ryan. His pass is misplaced and well intercepted. Now Whitehall up top to Andrews. And arriving to the match with the head bandage already on. It's an interesting sight as Tony Hurd in the middle is going to give that the first foul of the evening. Whitehall, regular free kick taker for Beachside and Newtown Eagles down the years, will oversee this one, rocking the gloves and the long sleeve underneath the kit as well tonight as Whitehall. He's going to put the keeper under some pressure. Andrews coming on in, advantage paid from the referee. Good first grab there from Darby Randall, finally getting his chance as the number one keeper for Olympia. Often had imports in front of him the last couple of years. Burns switching the play, Beachside managing to read that one. And I think with that we've just about got at least the team sheet sorted and the audio, Andrew.
Yeah, not sure. We'll see if I sound like I'm coming from 200 years ago through a time warp or not this time around. Hopefully a little bit better. Let us know if not. As man Whitehall getting involved down the right wing. Big fan of the Pelicans' work. He's going to be an important player for Beachside here this evening. He lifts for the big occasions. And he bring that physical that you think Beachside might need to cause the upset. They're a pretty well-built team. None bigger than the big behemoth Freddie Andrews up top. The battering ram could be the key to them springing the upset tonight.
Certainly could be, and Whitehall with a lower ball, nearly flicked on by Bomford. Away from Brown, looking for
Testing 1, 2, 3. Test. Alright, I think we've got some audio back here, so take apologies for the technical difficulties. That's why we're having a test run ahead of the NPL season next week. But 1-0 the score here. It's been all Olympia on the offensive, and Ben Hamlet opening up scoring with a close range header. Jack Ryan nodding it across the face of him, and you could hardly miss from there. And a good start, and the score 1-0. So we might go through the starting in a moment. As this corner swung in, and that's cleared off the line. Denied from close range. That's so nearly was 2-0. Loic Farrell, I think, there at the near stick. Denied on the goal line. Pressing hard here for the second goal. Maybe the first 20 minutes of this one, Paul. Fairly one-sided affair so far.
Yeah, really. But Olympia dominating. I still didn't quite see what that foul was for. Preventing that goal line clearance. They necessarily relevant, but yeah, Beachside have been pretty compact in defence. Warriors already starting to break them down. He's out on the wing. There's Farrell as an option. Elects to go towards the back post, and it gets there too to Ryan, who volleys just wide of the post. The Englishman hit that one well, kept it down. Just grazing outside the post on play out. Burden again, taking what feels like about his 15th goal kick already in the first 20 minutes. Burden still taking his time. It's like 1-0 down. Randall's only one save to make so far as Vandermeer steps up from centre back and just hoiks that one. Winning the header, Ryan goes the chip over the keeper. Unfortunately, he chips it onto the highway instead. Got in a great position there, did Ryan. Usually the other way around, you would see Ryan flicking onto Hamlet, but showing the versatility of both players there.
Yeah, really promising partnership this one, I think, between Jack Ryan and Ben Hamlet up top. They've got the makings of a pretty dangerous duo. Of course, Ben Hamlet for this competition. His old team, South Hobart, given a much closer run by Launceston United than when he set foot in Chavaney last. That was 12-0 that day, so that was 4-2 South Hobart in the last 15 minutes there, salvaging what could have been a major cup set. Break back here, but the Warriors just winning the ball back quite routinely at the moment. Lovely little spin there. And just trying to go through it. Switches the play up. It's going to be a drive from Burns. That's for a penalty, but nothing there.
I do trust the referee on that one. It's, whilst running a line earlier today, gave a penalty. Similar situation, it was handball, so most likely not, as the Warriors pick the ball up. It's Brown against the Pelican. Ryan tries to turn the defender and shoots, and well recovered there. Number 5, who is not on the team sheet, is number 5. We'll endeavour to get that name to you shortly. Corner for the Warriors, David Cox making that clearance. Warriors take the corner short. And just getting around. Short corner comes to North. Curtis getting one of the good touches of the game, I've got to be honest. Finds Burns. Lovely ball spread out wide to Adam Gorey. He's got an acre there on the post. Miscommunication between can come to anything on this occasion, and the push in the back from Curtis will relieve some of the pressure. But what you've seen so far the last few minutes has been indicative of the match as a whole. Beachside sending every free a relatively reasonable position as an opportunity to get it forward. Whitehall peeling off onto the fullback O'Connor, who he's got about 5 centimetres at least height advantage, and O'Connor's just climbed all over the back of him. As clear a foul as you'll see. Tony actually, the referee actually having to explain how that was a foul to someone, which I think shows the partisanship of the side when you've had a foul given against you. Pretty clear and obvious climb over the back there, and the Pelican with another chance to hit some of the tall timber.
Fancy they need to make the most of the set pieces they're going to get here tonight. Beachside, they've been parked on the back foot for most of this first half. This could be their best look yet. The Pelican bends it to the back post. It's a dangerous ball, and then it's just unable. But they've got some tall timber out there with St Andrews and Scull a very solid with help. So fancy a set piece might be their best chance as Apollo looks to pressure the French Falcon Loic Farrell. Jake Vandermeer finally reverting to a traditional centre-back's number here, and as you mentioned earlier, just throwing us. It's number 16 now, and O'Connor's back. Many things have changed in the year 2020, and that is a strange one. Here's Jack Ryan. He was in pretty scintillating form in the Summer Cup, the COVID break. Didn't come at a good time for Big Jack. He was at the top of his game throughout the pre-season. Shooting boots on last week in a friendly, and hasn't counted as of yet here tonight, but
yeah, it is. He in the pre-season game against Knights the other week, he was his industrious self, but had the likes of Thompson up against him, and that just caused him a few more issues. Good to get some match practice in. That's what players really need at the moment, with NPL starting next week, and also this important cup game tonight, with Curtis again finally getting re-familiarised with the ball. Back towards Vandermeer. Mearns. Out to O'Connor. Space down that side. Got Scut for company. Turns around too. He's still going here, O'Connor, and just lofts it too far over the head of Ryan. He'll manage to keep it in on the far side. Has Gorry available. Gorry, Hamlet peeling off. Mearns is at the back post. Farrell, a shot. Defers to Mearns. The polar all over him, and then Brad Andrews getting some of the ball, and also a fair bit of the player. Now Whitehall against Farrell. Good strength there from Farrell. Gorry. He's keeping it in. James Brown not on this occasion. Throw in on the far side. Andrews, this is the header, but Curtis knocks it out of play.
Fair bit of attacking talent in this Warriors lineup, isn't there? Just some of the names, Hamlet and Ryan up top, the Brown boys, and Nick Mearns just in behind them, and then just kind of got Loic Farrell parked in front of the back four. Interesting to see how attacking Adam Gorry is. He only know one way, but they need to get a few people back, you'd fancy at times.
You would think that, and also just in that Summer Cup, O'Connor showed he's not afraid to bomb on down the left wing either. So Vandermeer and Curtis have got a really important job, but as we see here, Farrell happy to drop deep to receive the ball. O'Connor looking for Hamlet, gets Brown, swings a lovely pass out to Gorry. Play not allowed to continue. Just some of that chemistry with the likes of Farrell, Gorry and Hamlet coming across from south. Trying to mesh the Brown brothers as well. They've come across from Glenorchy Knights. There are a lot of new faces here. Hamlet, no, sorry, Whitehall. Cleared by O'Connor. Fisher underneath it. Touch pass looking for Taylor. And now the Warriors can break. And it's Brown charging through the middle. He's managed to beat one. It's a good challenge. And from Cox. Got the last touch, did the Warriors. Beachside lost. Not pleased to be a goal down. They've done well not to just stem the tide and cause a flood. Goals after conceding the first. They 1-0 for a while. They're still firmly in this cup game as now Brown plays it to Declan Brown. Field ball not finding Mearns. Fisher. Time to control the kick. Good flick there from Andrews, and the Pelicans' leg just needed to be a tiny bit bigger there, and they were away.
Yeah, they've not got a long leg, the Pelicans, good wingspan, but not going to be much help there as Adam Gorry receives the ball on the right wing. It's Brown, back to Gorry, some patience here from the Warriors. A goal to the good, courtesy of Hammer Time Hamler. A really sloppy touch there from Vandermeer. Invites in the Pelican, who just knocks it over the top. Some defending for Curtis to do here, but Andrews running into it, goes down, and an easy decision there for Tony Peart. He points straight to the spot. Jake Vandermeer clatters him, and he'll struggle to have an easy decision that all year, I reckon.
Yeah, that was a pretty simple decision there. Andrews clearly got their first storming in, and
the Pelican who just knocks it over the top.
It stays 1-0.
Defending for Curtis to do here, but Andrews running into it, goes down, and an easy decision there. But Tony Peart, he points straight to the
dished out as well to, I believe it was Curtis. And now it'll be Brett Andrews with the chance to equalise for the underdogs for the Southern Championship side. Andrews v Randall. Andrews coolly slots it home, sending Randall the wrong way to make it 1-1 to Beachside. Can't finish. Experienced captain from Sandown Park. And this is firmly game on between the Warriors and Beachside. Randall committed early. Andrews just rolled it in to the left-hand corner. Hasn't really had, he's had 2 touches of the ball so far as Darby Randall, and now he let the goal in.
Yeah, lovely penalty there on the half-hour mark here. Back on terms, Beachside, and they take their chance. It was a good attack. It was a sloppy giveaway from Vandermeer. Really invited the danger. Whitehall switching it across, and bang, in the blink of an eye, it is 1-1 here. North Warriors dominance. There's not in them take the lead in this one, but they might hit straight back through Brown. That was well defended. Fell back to Mearns, and it's going to be a free kick going the way of Beachside. A little push after the tackle there, which will just relieve the pressure valve a tad. But look, really drawing up the blueprint for an upset tonight. Chances and making the most of your attacks is going to be key, and punishing errors when they do come about from the opposition. Beachside have done just that.
Yeah, absolutely. And whilst the run of play would suggest that the Warriors maybe should have scored an extra goal or two, if you don't put your chances away, things like that can happen. And Whitehall once calls for handball. It's onside here into the box. Doesn't want to make another challenge as Vandermeer. Whitehall gets around. They had scramble in the box. They still haven't got it clear. O'Connor, well, he wants to turn almost inside and then just goes out of play. Not quite sure why he was turning in towards the goal there. O'Connor, usually as a defender, you just concede the throw in that situation.
A little too cute there, and you don't want to be doing that with the Pelican lurking about. That's really dangerous stuff. Too many bodies in the box to attack this one. 4 in there now for Beachside. Young Matthew Bomford, who was vital in the lead up to that penalty win, parks himself in front of the keeper. Swung looking for Andrews. The touch just a little bit heavy though. It allowed him Gorry, and the Warriors now will look to counter with pace. It means lovely little ball that for the French Falcon. Gorry continuing his run. He'll look up. Finds Brown. Gorry with room for cross, and it's a ball to the back post. Brown in towards Jack Ryan, but just showed too much of it there to the keeper Burden. He picks that one up. And just finding their feet looking a little more comfortable in this game after a pretty tough first 20 minutes or so, where they really parked back deep in their own half, backs to the wall type defending. Just starting to create a few moments of doubt at the back for the Warriors. In dispute in the middle of the park. Farrell in with a nice little ball out to Gorry. Two former South Hobart teammates, very familiar with each other's games with the Warriors. Trying to break through here, and in the end Farrell is clipped, and that'll be a free kick.
Yeah, pretty obvious challenge. Pretty obvious decision there for the referee. Farrell trying to chink back and get Gorry, who was open on the wing. What was interesting about Beachside from that corner, they put 4 players into the box, and he kept 5 players firmly back on line waiting for that counter-attack. So still being defensive from their attacking situations. O'Connor chests it forward. Andrews thumping it away. Will Curtis keep that one in? He does. And he's just set Randall a bit of a task there, causing a few gasps up here in the indoor area of Warrior Park. Randall had that covered for the most part. As Brown throwing a step over to Mearns. They do well to switch it here to O'Connor, and that's the direction they go. To defend, it's O'Connor running at Fisher, drops the shoulder, goes to the byline, knocks it back. Hamlet, nearly a foul given. As now Gorry Washington, not quite. Now back to O'Connor, keeps it out. Good save there from Burden. He managed to keep that down well, the left back, and the outstretched left paw of Burden will concede the corner. But geez, that was close to a clip on Hamlet there for a penalty.
He goes down. There's a fair chance it might have been given. Just a chance, but credit to him for keeping his feet. Unfortunately, perhaps that's why we see players, they do hit the deck rather spectacularly at times, because if you stay on your feet, you sometimes don't get the reward. Anyway, deep ball to the back post, and again it's well blocked. One for another corner. It's all hands on deck at the back here for Beachside, and they're certainly being asked some questions from the set pieces. Jack Ryan a likely target. They take this one short. Sharp variation shut down by Bomford. Number 9. Finding an attack but working back very hard. His sister scored an absolute belter for the Warriors in the Women's State White Cup game before this, so we'll see if he can produce something to try and upstage it. It will take a lot, and Farrell can't get through that green and black wall that's just erected itself in the Warriors' penalty area there. And they're holding on pretty well, but the pressure continuing to mount as Callum Brown now scything a path through, and Callum Brown's denied by Burden again. He got down and slid out and made himself big. Textbook keeping. They're knocking on that door, Paul.
They certainly are, and Brown with another one of his trademark runs, shades of his goal, the year contender he scored at 5 last year, but they win another corner to the Warriors. And goes towards the back post. Ryan gets up, just about well defended, and it'll be cleared now by the Warriors. Pelican the only one up, but wasn't in the area, and it's a loose pass that O'Connor will just keep in. Sends one down the line. Brown running inside. Andrews, I thought he kicked that one out, but throwing the ball into disgust in the net gives away that Brown knew he kicked that one out straight away. Interesting, so you mentioned Olivia Bomford's goal for the Warriors. Matt Bomford out there for Beachside. Mother Bomford at the moment in a Beachside jacket downstairs.
Well, there we go.
Nailing her colours to the mast there.
She was the president of the club for quite a while, so that's probably fair enough, I'd have thought. As this side's swung out to the wing, got it down, and O'Connor forced a retreat back to Randall. As this one's flat out the back, Curtis. And Gorry tears inside. To the centre circle, Rory Parker. Crisp pass out towards Declan Brown. Pops it off for the overlapping O'Connor. Little nutmeg, clever from O'Connor. Again repelled though. Declan Brown again can't get through the sea of bodies. They're parked back in there. They're defending grimly, but defending well. Get it on. That's the way they have to go about it. And yes, the NPL title favourites, the Warriors, the Summer Cup champions, the Southern Championship team coming up against that on their home turf. I think the approach we've seen from Beachside, it's the way they have to play, and it's working for them so far.
Certainly is just a question of fitness might come into it by the end, but if they can get to half-time at 1-1, they'll be feeling pretty confident. Well, the side from the Tropicana. Take the throw in. Give it another chance. Tripped the ball himself down the hill. Gorry coming back into the light. Throwing it in. Nice little back heel there. Mearns just wrestling with the defender. He gets past one. Past another one, but it's in the back of the net. Thank you to Brown. Mearns doing all the hard work in the build-up. And he had plenty of space and rifled that one into the left-hand side corner.
Yeah, Callum Brown with a very tidy finish. Just a bit too much room that time. And they had been really dialing up the pressure in the last 10 minutes. Ever since got back on terms, it really looked to put the pedal to the metal. And eventually that pressure tells. 2-1 the Warriors. And Brown gets the first of expect might be many that he might score this year. Off the Callum variety, restoring the Warriors lead. And obviously the Twins out there, I don't think they started together at all during the Summer Cup. It seems like an eternity ago now, so I feel like this is the first time I've seen the Twins playing together in Warriors colours, of course, with the old man just controlling the touchline as coach.
Yeah, all coming together again. Coming from Hobart United, and the players coming from the Knights. A real package family deal there. And there's Hamlet doing some good work chasing down. One's out of play, or is the referee given a foul on Fisher? Looks like the foul has been given. Quick talking to from the referee, but no more cheddar being distributed at this stage. Cox to take the free kick. Andrews. The Polar. Andrews trying to charge through about 3 people to get work for Al being the victim on that occasion.
So the up north has in fact reached half-time before this one, which, you know, you'd expect given it kicked off 90 minutes before it, but it's only just beaten it. But we have our fingers crossed and hope it's something that Jack Dance will be able to get back on the park from. Eventually, obviously, it sounds like a tough injury as Nick Mearns sends that one into the stratosphere. That was as ugly a hit as you will ever see from Mearns. Just shake out the rust a little of the lockout there, I think, Mearnsy. He's got slightly better than that, this lockout.
Yeah, that one's for the blooper reel for the end of season clip, that one. It would have cleared 2 of those fences heading towards the highway.
Yes, so 1-0 Launceston City, the score at half-time play, finally resuming up there after a leg break, I believe, to Jack Dance. So fingers crossed for the young man there that he can recover from it, and never like to see an injury like that. And it's somewhat concerning about our public health system, I've thought too, given they were waiting for nearly an hour for an ambulance. But I digress. Here's Adam Guy towards Hamlet. Slightly heavy touch there. Go through some of the other scores from the Cup today. Victory for Taroona over Metro. South Hobart coming back from a 2-1 deficit late on to beat Launceston United 4-2. University in perhaps the big result of the day, 4-0 over Riverside. NPL opposition there at Olinda Grove. Very tough team to beat at Olinda Grove at Uni. And then you've got Knights comfortably 5-0 over Northern Rangers. Hobart United with a 4-1 win, an impressive feat on the road to Cardigan Street against, as I said, Sharks. And another big turn-up, Kingborough 5-1 over the Clarence Zebras. Not the introduction the Clevers were looking for as Brown looks to get into the box. That's really well defended though. Brown has surely impeded him. Advantage played, a good advantage too though, although not taken advantage of as Nick Mearns swings it to Hamlet. Hamlet turning sharply onto the right and he fires, and the keeper gets 2 paws to it, but he can't keep it out. And he's not happy with himself there. He's Burden. He got 2 palms on the ball, but couldn't get back on it. And hammer time, Hamlet grabs his second, 3-1 Olympia.
Always hits his shots with power, does Hammer Time Hamlet, and I think that's what's deceived the keeper. He does hit the ball very hard, does Hammer Time. We don't call him that for a reason. 3-1, we said before, if Beachside could just hold on to 1-1 until the half, they'd be in with a chance. But with only a few minutes to go, 3-1 down already. And a game plan that worked pretty well between sort of minutes 10 to 30, 35 is starting to become a little unravelled here. And just the extra pre-season preparation of the NPL side is coming in here as Taylor wins that one well. Now to Scut. Polar. There was a sandwich there. Andrews goes charging in. O'Connor. Vandermeer this time cuts in front of Pelican. Vandermeer with all the time in the world here. Curtis. Don't have to pass it around the back too much tonight have the Warriors. Playing the game very much in their attacking third. Vandermeer again looks for the long diagonal ball. Fisher backpedaling under that one comfortably. It's a dangerous turn inside when you got Farrell and Brown lurking, and Brown plays in Hamlet. Ryan wants it on the 6-yard box, chipped over his head and in from Hamlet. Well, I'm not sure if he entirely meant that, but if he did, that is an amazing goal from Hammer Time Hamlet. Beautifully chipped into the top corner. Oh, excellent goal from Hammer Time.
Well, that's his third, and that's comfortably the best of the three. That was superb from Benny Hamlet. He'll be watching that one back a few times during the week, I think. We said he had an affinity for the Cup. He scored 10 in a Lakoseljac Cup round of 16 game a couple of years ago. He's on track for a similar feat here this evening. Absolutely firing. Here's Ben Hamlet. This was just delightful. Left-footed chip. Look, maybe he was going gory, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he meant it. 4-1, 3 for Hamlet. And Beachside, it was all going so well for them around about the half-hour mark. But as you say, they've just travelled.
Yeah, you know, they were looking good for that sort of 10-minute to 30, 35-minute mark, but this last 10 minutes, even more so. All Warriors in Hammer Time has found his shooting boots, and that's always dangerous, no matter the opposition. That's a lovely ball through to Brown. They just keep going here. The Warriors cut back. Ryan is intercepted at the last moment. He's lining up. Oh, the Warriors now. Farrell. Back to Vandermeer. These fullbacks for the Warriors are pushing on a fair bit too. You see another one. Gorry. Farrell covering pitch, and Brown being allowed to get a head of steam up, drop a step over. Can't quite find Gorry. That is half-time from the referee in the middle. Warriors 4-1 up after an amazing last 10 minutes from Hammer Time Hamlet in particular. Hat-trick for him in the first half. He's on his way to another great round of 16 Lakoseljac Cup evening. Beachside gallant so far, but just that last 10 minutes. The Warriors showing their class. They lead at half-time 4-1, and probably a deserved lead to go in to the break.
Yeah, certainly had all the play. Beachside, they were doing a good job of hanging in there. They were defending well. They're getting so many bodies in the way, lots of shots. We just saw perhaps a little more patience towards the end of the half in terms of waiting for the opening to take the shot. But I think it was the pace down the flanks that's really just caused Beachside all manner of problems. They've not been able to match the movement of the Browns, and Hamlet's just done his own thing as he does in the cup. And 3 in this half, the third one, just the deft chip. It's pretty spectacular stuff. And the Warriors look like they are well on their way through to the quarterfinals. We mentioned the other results in the men's statewide cup, recapping the women's statewide cup results. A 7-0 win for the Kinder Lions over Somerset up at Cardigan Street. University 3-0 over Taroona up at Olympia Grove Bay for the Bees, with both their sides registering big wins through to the quarterfinals. The end of the day was Riverside and Metro, 2 teams making their bow in the statewide cup, and 4 goals from Meg Connolly guided Riverside to a 5-3 win. That was the most competitive of the games. The rest of them fairly one-sided affairs. Northern Rangers too strong for Launceston City in the derby, 4-0 there. Clarence Zebras, watched that one. They put 7 past Devonport and looked absolutely terrifying at times. They've Got some pretty big names who weren't on the team sheet. They're tough to beat this year, the Cleverers. I think, judging by today's results, so we hang their hat on the women's side of things more than the men's this year, whilst in the game before this one, it was 4-0 to Olympia over Ulverston in the statewide under-20s. Riverside beating the Clarence Zebras 3-1 over at Wentworth Park. Olympia 5-0 over Taroona. So looking like a pretty good day here at Warrior. The triple header all going the way. The locals would have liked 2 extra time classics in the North v South matchups. The visiting teams really pushing southern sides a long way, but Kingborough 2-1 over Northern Rangers. It took extra time to separate them. And Glenorchy Knights with a 119th minute winner in a 1-0 result over Launceston City. Talk about timing. And it was 3-2 Devonport over Beachside in the 21s. Good fight back there from Devonport, who looked in trouble at some stage, whilst South Hobart took a 5-0 win over Ulverston. And that's recapping the results of the Cup today. And we'll be back with the second half of this one, the final game of the day. It's Beachside 1 in a little bit of trouble here against Olympia for Ben Hamlet with 3. It goes down, and an easy decision there for Tony Peart. He points straight to the spot. Handle.
Andrews coolly slots it home, sending Randall the wrong way to make it 1-1 to Beachside. Can't finish. Experience. Knocks it back. Hamlet, nearly a foul given. There's now Gorry Washington, not quite. Now back to okay.
On your feet, yeah. Sometimes don't get the reward anyway. Deep ball to the back post, and again it's well blocked. One for another corner. State World Cup game before this, so we'll see if he can produce something to try and upstage it. It will take a lot, and Farrell can't get through that green and black wall, and they're holding on pretty well, but the pressure continuing to mount as Callum Brown now scything a path through, and Callum Brown denied by Burton again. He got down and slid out.
Maidens just wrestling with the defender. He gets past one, past another one, but it's in the back of the net. Thank you to Brown. Moon's doing all the hard work in the build-up. He had plenty of space and rifled that one into the left-hand side corner.
Fingers crossed, and hope it's something that Jack Dance will be able to get back on the park from. Eventually, obviously, it sounds like a tough injury as Nick Mearns sends that one into the stratosphere. That was as ugly a hit as you look to Hamlet. Hamlet turning sharply onto the right, and he fires, and the keeper gets 2 balls to it, but he can't keep it out. And he's not happy with himself there. He's Burton. He got 2 palms.
So when you got Farrell and Brown lurking, and Brown plays in Hamlet. Ryan wants it on the 6-yard box, chipped over his head, and in from Hamlet. Well, I'm not sure if he entirely meant that, but if he did, that is an amazing goal from Hamlet time. Hamlet beautifully chipped into the top corner.
ladies and gentlemen, it's time to acknowledge our 2020 sponsors. We have Salamanca Fresh, a long-time sponsor of the club. North, south, east and west, you will find the Salamanca Fresh, fresh produce and goods. It's your grocer that you need. They choose to buy Tasmanian produce, first to support our own economy, and of course, they're offering local fruit and vegetables in Hobart. Salamanca Fresh is the place to shop. Rainbow Building Solutions. Rainbow Building Solutions are down at Sorrel with Matt Smith. For all your building needs, Rainbow Building Solutions. Optus, if you need a new phone plan or a telephone, please go and see Optus and mention our name, and we will receive a $25 rebate on your purchase. Optus have come on board for the first time, and we're very proud to have them as a sponsor in 2020. Green Electrical Contracting. No job is too big or too small. Free, no obligation quotes available for Green Electrical. Give Craig, Big Wood and others a call, and they'll look after your electrical needs. Urban Greek Restaurant in Murray Street. They're a friend of the club, a sponsor, and we're very proud to have them on board again for 2020. Saba and Yorgor Douglas there in Urban Greek Restaurant in Murray Street. From the Eastern Shore, Kajini's Restaurant down in Belry Quay. Alfonso and Marco down there at Kajini's Restaurant. Great pizza and pasta, and they've been sponsoring the club for about 5 years, and we thank them for being on board again in 2020. Flight Centre. Sam Loudon Flight Centre Rosny can organise flights, holidays, hotels, cars, hire, cruises, travel insurance, amongst other things. If you need any flight, if you need any travelling arrangements, please give Sam Loudon a call. He also tells me that if you mention Olympia FC Warriors, you will receive $100 off any booking as long as it is over $5,000. That includes land arrangements. I'd like to thank Stuart Benson for Consumer Real Estate, for ground signage, and also, of course, Francis Cullen Electrical.
Alrighty, we are back for the second half here at Warrior Park. A 4-1 lead for the hosts. Smooth sailing for them at the moment. Cup bet in the first half, and penalty was converted to bring it back to 1, but then Ben Hamlin had his say, and it's the Warriors firmly in the ascendancy as we start the second half here. As Brown gets on the ball, and customary run at the defence, just loves taking on defenders, and more often than not he winds up beating them too. As this one's shipped back to his brother. Now Farrell looking for the run of Jack Ryan, couldn't quite direct the volley. It's a clever ball from Farrell, and just couldn't quite direct it goal there, the Englishman.
In the first minute, already a sighter from the Englishman who'd be desperate to get on the score sheet. His striking partner has made the hat-trick in the first half. Beachside again, Bird not taking the goal kicks. Well, looks of it in the second half, deferring it to a teammate. Corner. Huge distance on that header, and he's just about got enough on that. Here's Goxbird, and not coming off his line with great urgency to come and collect that one. Anthony just about doing that one. Randall's kicked that one off the shin pad, but it's fallen to a teammate. Beachside trying to get the ball down on the deck as Hamlet manages to win it. Burns, what a lovely turn, and Taylor's done a pretty good turn there himself. Andrews dangerously close to our camera there on that occasion with that clearance.
Charlie there cleaned up as the Warriors look to try to play forwards. Whitehall just with the totally the fullback there, O'Connor, after he'd got rid of it. Ryan, his pass broken up, but return ball in towards Mearns. Cleverly let it run, then dinks it back into Ryan. Couldn't quite get it out from under his feet, and then a terrible pass invites all sorts of danger. Here's Callum Brown, and this one shut down by Cox. And it will be a corner, but getting themselves into all sorts of trouble at the back there with Beachside.
Well, it was unlucky not to be an own goal there. There's that one now falls out for a goal kick.
So Cox again going to take them. Is there any way back into this game for Beachside? It's going to be a tough endeavour. A 3-goal deficit. They'll probably just to avoid a complete wipeout, but a chance here perhaps from the Pelican Whitehall. Just to retreat though. There's real leg speed in this Olympia side. They cover the pitch. Pretty fearsome sight when you got the Browns running down the flanks and Brian O'Connor overlapping. Charging through the middle again they go. The Warriors with plenty of bodies forward. Here is the overlapping O'Connor. Here's Hamlet. He's got 4. And this man's affinity in the Lakoseljac Cup just continues. And he is loving life here. Ben Hamlet, he has 4. The Warriors have 5.
His third goal was one of individual brilliance. That fourth is one of team brilliance. That move from one side to the other. There was runs off the ball. There was back heels. There was incisive passing. And then, more importantly, incisive finishing there from Hamlet. Hamlet.
Warriors with plenty
Great
of
goal.
forward. Here is the
Warriors.
Here's Hamlet. He's got 4.
5 early in the second half.
There it is again,
A class above has Hamlet time. Yes, the next question is, does he begins a quest to repeat his 10, or do you snap some of his legs for next week? Long ball down the line. Does well to get around 1. The second defender coming across. Hitting that one. It's Brown. Now Mearns. Randall urgently asking for a touch, and not too much sauce on that one from Curtis. Cleared by Fisher. Pelican having a little bit of a swing. That's O'Connor. He'll keep it now in. Now will the Pelican, and just has a complete air swing at it. That was Whitehall. Not terribly happy with his effort there. Mearns. Great miscontrol from Nick Mearns as Scott tries to play through Andrews. Randall off his line quickly. Applause from the striker. Great throw from Randall. Brown jinking and playing it out wide. Brown just misses on rushing O'Connor and making a sliding challenge. The offside flag not being given there. Curtis, Bomford, Randall, good communication. Whitehall, we'll see that one out for a throw-in. Mearns. Brown. And again, Gorry overlapping, wants to have a shot. Goes out wide, but everyone just on their heels. But to be fair, I don't think anyone was getting that pass.
No, split the two options in there, the Callum Brown, but he's got some space on the front side. A little bit slack on that occasion from Beachside, and I think a few heads have started to drop there after Hamlet's 4th. There was a real sense of fight in them when flinging themselves in front of shots and blocking everything that was thrown their way. First half now, but they have a distinct look of a team that knows they're outmatched here at the moment. As this one's blasted along for Andrews. Good effort there by Vandermeer. Good physical matchup for him. And Jack Ryan, he'd love to get himself on the score sheet here. And scrapping away and in dispute. Scutt can get past Gorry. Gorry across to Callum Brown. Brown. Gorry. Farrell. To Brown. Trying to take on 2. Does so successfully, but get his cross into Jack Ryan's path. Well blocked away. Outside defence steer it across, but it'll be a throw in for Gorry in an advanced position here. And the short pitch, it's pretty easy to get it into the box. He opts for the short option for Mearns. Buys Gorry a little bit of room. And man on his 6 in Bomford, and he's aware to it. O'Connor. Now, Declan Brown. Whitehall working back. Here's the error, but it's going to be quickly won back by the Warriors, and Vandermeer takes over at the back.
Mearns Looking over in midfield. Number 6s resuming their battle. Farrell to Curtis. And Gorry to Callum Brown. Looking towards the back post again. Now Randall. Really touch of the ball. Gorry. There's the diagonal in the Hamlet direction, trying to peel off the defender, and Hammer Time's got goal side, but it's the covering defence. Nash Fisher preventing Hammer Time from turning. Getting chased. With the bouncing one, he manages to find the Pelican. Whitehall. Well, I don't know whether to cast that as a shot or not. I mean, it's going to roll out for a goal kick, but unfortunately it was 25 metres wide of the goal. We're going to see the first substitution of the night. Double sub by the looks of it from Beachside. Taylor and Raccio coming off. Coming on the Beachside subs list, you've got 18 and 24, McDonald and Law.
So double switch being pulled there. Apologies for the brief loss in transmission there. Test run here this evening ahead of the NPL season resuming, or starting up I suppose next week. 14 round competition this year rather than the 21. More of a sprint than a marathon perhaps, as Nick Mearns. Looks like the Warriors are going to head into that filled with confidence. A pretty good display from them here this evening. O'Connor back to Mearns, who spies Gorry in a pocket of space. And Gorry just punches it in there. Steered away by Cox, and should be easy pickings for the keeper. And indeed it is. And launches it, and then not happy with himself at all. He's turned it straight over to Mearns. Quite a strong reaction from him after that kick as Andrews just lions out Brown. It's one way to stop him in his tracks, about the only way they've been able to stop the Brown boys tonight.
Not tempted to dish out a slice of cheese with that one as Tony Pert.
It probably looks a bit worse due to the size of the man in Andrews when he brings you down. It's strongly built individual as the option of Jack Ryan or Brown, but I think Jack Ryan he hasn't got a goal here tonight, just fancying himself, and he drives that straight into the wall off the head of Lapolla behind for a corner, so you might get a look in from the set piece here.
Declan Brown looking at taking it short. Goes to Mearns. They've taken a lot of short corners tonight, have the Warriors. Maybe recognising the height of Beachside size. Hammer Time flicks it up with the volley, and Brown was about to make contact with that. And the Beachside defender not got in the way. Law gets his first touch. Ryan. Out to O'Connor. Bomford for company now. Farrell with Whitehall behind him. It's a lovely ball in the Ryan direction. He'll finally get it, but it can't get to sit for him. Can the Englishman? Farrell with the interesting knee forward. Hammer Time does well to keep it in. Andrews just whacks it out of play instead. No nonsense defending, I think is how we'd describe that.
I'll describe it as jumping at shadows, and that's probably brought about by the previous hour or so of football. They've been swamped. As this one's taken short. Dangerous ball whipped in. Oh, deflects, it's in the back of the net. Well, it's Hamlet again. It took a pretty sizable deflection, but good luck taking it off Hamlet. He certainly claimed that goal for Tassie last year, which he got a lot less of, so every chance he'll get this one too. But yet another one, Ben Hamlet running right. We'll have to wait and see what Mr. Peart puts in his book. It was a pretty big deflection, but the one thing that is for sure is that it's 6-1 Olympia, and this is becoming a rout.
You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. It was definitely destined for the back of the net.
Here it is again, ladies and gentlemen, the signal for Olympia. See where it's gone once again.
I'm certainly know that President George Marcus on the microphone is going to claim it as a Hamlet goal. Andrews lost that one forward. Pomford against Gorrie. Cam defending it. It's just going to be interesting for the Warriors. What time they bring on any substitutes. They've certainly got this game in the bag results-wise. Andrews cleans up, he gets clattered afterwards from Gorrie. Gorrie running away from the scene in a pretty brisk fashion. Andrews appealing for a card, so it's Cox. Similar goal there. One of the ones up at University today. A heavy deflection from a shot from about 18 yards out. He's touching your point about NPL being a sprint rather than a marathon. I do think it's going to be one of the sides who get out the quickest and try to jump to a lead. I think will be a pretty good strategy. And based on tonight's performance, I think Olympia are well positioned to do such strategy. He's lofts this one towards the back post. Andrews determined to get ahead on it running backwards. And offside given on that one. Somehow our telepathic nature there working a treat there, Andrew. I was about to turn to you and ask you what the score was up north, and you were happily typing that into the live blog. Still 1-0 with 10 minutes played in the second half.
Yeah, underway there. It's probably about 15 minutes or so now. It was a few minutes ago I got that update, but in close with this one, so I missed that. But yeah, still 1-0 in the north. Play finally resuming after that lengthy layoff, but Launceston City, I called them the NPL dark horses in my preview I wrote this week, so it could make me look pretty good that I wrote that before the NPL preview comes out. As Beachside with a great chance here, but just blazing over the top in the end was the substitute McDonald, as he just drove that one a little too under that one, I think. But their best moment of the second half, it's fair to say.
Yeah, fresh legs causing some potential dangers there for Warriors, but Ryan with the lovely flick. Now out to Brown. Ryan desperately wants the return ball. Brown wants a goal. Lays it back to his brother, who just shoots over the top. Good hit from Callum Brown. Just went back a little too far on that one and couldn't quite make it 7 for the Warriors.
Going to be a good team to watch this year, the Warriors. Hamlet and Ryan up top. The Browns flanking them. Mearns in the hull. It's a pretty impressive array of attacking talent, and watching Callum and Declan in full flight. A pretty spectacular sight. Hopeful that we can get full seasons from them this year. Injuries have rather ruined the past couple of seasons on that front, as Ben Hamlet, Nick Mearns, about to make way here for Olympia. So just a lazy 5 goals for Hamlet on his full Warriors Cup debut here. Not a bad return, as Warren Wadzawu comes on. Is that Snowy? Jacob Herbert? Yeah, Jacob Herbert coming out as well. So double sub pulled there, and of course the postman Wadzawu. Pretty handy reinforcement as well. Yeah,
not a bad player to come off the bench and just bolster that attacking core. Jacob Herbert as well, a name not seen in Tasmanian football for a little while. Good to see him back on the park for the Warriors. The Pelican wanted the ball down the line. Bomford not quite on the same wavelength. Herbert in his first touch. Brown, absolute acre of space, calling for it as loud as he possibly can. Ignored by Brown on that occasion. He goes to the other side there, O'Connor. Herbert in front, goes to the near post whip. Burton catches that one well. Looping ball for Earl, composed underneath it with the Pelican lurking down on him. Curtis. It's a Gorrie. Pressured by Law. Declan Brown to the postman. Always happy to see Wadzawu on the pitch. On the corner to Farrell. Jack Ryan dropping really, really deep for someone who's desperate to get on the score sheet there. Andrews. That one, snow on it as it came back down. Connor with the throw, Farrell forward. Cleared by Cox. Don't think Herbert quite knew he was so close behind him then. Gorry. Ryan. And it's Wadzawu. Connor on the overlap, chooses to go there. Ryan bursting into the box, and it's only our last ditch clearance there. I think it was Cox preventing Ryan from a surefire tap in. Finally getting that goal he's been so craving of.
Yeah, the eyes would have just lit up there. Jack Ryan, it was about to be put on a platter for him. Some slack marking there allows Farrell to float one in, and then volleyed by Brown, deflects into the hand, and a penalty, no. The big wind-up, only to blow the other way from Tony Pitt. It must have been offside. He's looking at his linesman. It's rather seemed to me to just strike the arm of the Beachside player, but I think he was in an offside position. But hit with some venom, that volley.
It certainly was, and I'm glad that was offside, because as far as handball goes, I mean, he did absolutely nothing about it, but it's in the penalty box, and the law changes. If it wasn't immediately tucked into his body, you'd probably have to give it. As Herbert clips, advantage paid by the referee, gets it back. Does Herbert couldn't quite get that one. Handball against the Warriors attacker, who, if I'm not mistaken, his last season here would have been 2016, I think. He played in the NPL Tas championship winning side.
Yeah, he was at Knights last year, I think.
Yeah.
But he's obviously made the return to Warrior Park. As a few have augmented their squad pretty nicely of the Warriors, and he's one of those key signings. There's Brown, he couldn't quite find Jack Ryan, who had plenty of space in the middle. Adam Gorry might think about a long-range shot here. Instead, pops it in looking for the Englishman. Repelled away. Big Brady Andrews looks up and doesn't see an option he likes. And isn't shy about letting his teammates know what he thinks of that. As this one rolls out the back. But, they're looking fairly beaten at this point. Beachside, as Whitehall gets on the ball. Can he make something happen? Andrews with a clever little ball for Lapola. That's a poor pass. He's turned it straight back over to Callum Brown, and now got into the channel for Wadzawu. Dwells on it a moment. He's got the option of Farrell, and then he's got Declan Brown in the middle of the park. That's where he heads. Dances round. Quite fine Wadzawu though. Bomford. His work rate's been impressive. That was a lovely little turn, but eventually the numbers just went out, and he was always fighting an uphill battle. Just Warrior shirts all around him. And it's been the story of this game, really. They've outnumbered them all over the pitch, seemingly. Brown. Herbert. Lovely little ball. O'Connor's cross. Quite fine. There's a big shirt grab on Herbert there. And in the end, a free kick line. Well, maybe the other way. Something kind of went before it. I definitely saw a big shirt grab, but maybe it was something we didn't have the right angle on. Obviously, the referee on the opposite angle to us there, Tony Pitt.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the result or there wasn't much protest from players from either side. Maybe that the result might have had, if it was 1-1 or something, there might have been a few more voices heard out there, but all pretty quiet on that front, whereas I do agree with you, there did seem to be something on there.
Yeah, certainly from our angle, but that is only one angle of it, of course. And there's this one. See Bryant surrounded by green shirts. Herbert, eyes only for goal. Defended away by Cox. Find a way out of here, Beachside. They're just clearing it and then ceding possession. Seemingly immediately, Bomford showed some very nice play. That was well done by the Pelican Whitehall. Nicholas McDonald and steered behind by Farrell. So a corner where they look threatening here this evening from Beachside. Can they conjure something up here perhaps? Well and truly a result beyond them, but you'd certainly like to pull back a little bit more respectability on the scoreline.
Yeah, Bomford had a good amount of space in the 18-yard box there, just peeled off maybe a bit too far to the back post.
As I'm informed, I'll get to after this corner perhaps, but big news up at Buckby Park. Drew's competing for this one, and then it's in the back of the net, but a foul well and truly blown, as the big news is Rob Gerard has scored his second, and Launceston City are leading Devonport 2-0 in the north. So the host threatening to knock out the team that has won 2 of the last 4 Lakoseljac Cups, and certainly headed into this season perhaps as the title favourites. But Rob Gerardi was the best and fairest at Northern Rangers last year in the Northern Championship. And he scored 2 on his debut for City here, so a handy pickup as Brown tearing through the middle. This could be a spectacular goal! And it is absolutely stunning stuff from Callum Brown. He danced through the defence and drove it home.
Beautiful, beautiful individual play from Brown, and isn't he happy about it? Slid through 3 Beachside defenders, had them as statues. Now, Dummy in particular, where everyone thought he was going to shoot, he just took that extra touch and allowed him a bit more space. Nothing the keeper could do, and that's made it 7 for the Warriors. Pretty convincing display all round, and the referee getting in the way with that one, and a nice little demonstration, one of the new rules of the game, where it's an uncontested drop ball. As the Warriors had possession, you would think they would be allowed just to take it from the spot, and indeed they are.
First for number 17, Mr. Brown.
Corral, and Marcus learning from the best of us to hedge the bets on the Brown there. It's Randall, the throw out. Ryan, with a gorgeous run across the defence, and touches it to himself, gets it on the left peg, but too much height on that one. And it was a really great run from the attacker there. He put from one centre back to the other, found 5 yards of space. It was wonderfully found from his teammate. And that did not quite have the accuracy, as looks like there's going to be another substitution being made. I would assume it's a Beachside substitution. And we've got the Pelican, Whitehall, taking his gloves off, and we assume he's likely to come off. And Luke Farrell for the Warriors coming off too. Number 19 for Beachside coming on. Marcus Moore, number 13 for the Warriors. Yet to turn around on me, unfortunately. Brayton Allen is coming on. All 3 subs used by both sides already in this contest, as one of those substitutes with Dawu looks to find Ryan. Oh, Andrews with the people's elbow there into the chest of Brown. Free kick.
Substitution for Olympia FC Warriors.
Free kick given to Beachside on that one.
Being replaced by number 13.
The elbow came after the challenge. Cox will look to launch this one along. Andrews with the nudge, just getting away with that one, and Beachside will keep the ball up their end. But yeah, big news up north with scoring 2, and there wouldn't be more than 10 minutes left in the game, at a guess, given where we are at the state of this one. Long throw in towards Andrews, gone. Cleared by O'Connor. Brown, Dawu. 2 Beachside players around him. That's a lovely turn from the postman. Gorry. Ryan towards the back post. Brown making a run down the line, and that's the direction he goes to. Herbert waiting as well. Takes a touch to Jacob Herbert. Takes another one and puts it over the top. Maybe just done a little bit too much in the box there, had Herbert. Certainly off balance as he hit that shot.
Did very well to get onto the left there. Some fancy footwork from Herbert, but couldn't quite bend it for the far corner. But yeah, it seems like we're inside about the last 10 minutes up north, I'm told, and 2-0 to Launceston City. So it's like Devonport crashing out of that one. It was always a tricky fixture. It was Launceston at Buckby on a heavy pitch there. Not an easy task, and what a start for the man. I'm assuming they must be calling Robbie G with a name like that. And very similar to another Englishman with just blasting long-range bombs. I might actually enjoy these ones though.
Yeah, same. I would like to have someone with that last name scoring bombs. It wouldn't get me so angry, mind you. Didn't have as much of that over a good portion of his career as you had anyway.
Yeah. As the coach of Olympia is always happy to point out something. He'll be a happy man tonight with this display. Always a potential banana skin, these sort of matches, but they've got through a very professional display here. Good signs in the season ahead for the Warriors. And a really burgeoning strike partnership between Hamlet and Ryan could well be the key to their success here. And the Brown boys have just been pulling the strings in midfield and out wide. This is good flowing football, and again, I think that just shows the mentality of Beachside. Get it away from me, get it out of here. They have been absolutely battered in this second half. As Devonport, I'm told, have pulled one back, and it's now 2-1. Keep the updates going there.
Yeah, Buckby Land Rover Park, see, potentially be the game of the round across all formats here as Warriors have another shot on goal. That one nearly out for a throw. No, it will be a goal kick. And those in the crowd not particularly in a hurry to get the ball back to Beachside either, which I don't think they'll be complaining about too much. But a real humdinger at Buckby Land Rover Park. Hope they've got all the lights on up there as well, as it's gone certainly well later into the night than they were expecting. There's Cox towards Andrews. Good strength from Van der May in the air. That'll be one of the more difficult aerial duels you'll have all season against Andrews Van der May. And Cox going beside it. Well, we've just certainly tested how good that glass is up here in Warrior Park, because that was about 3 inches from the gentleman's head there at the end of the table.
Well, it's passed the test, hasn't it? I mean, you can't get a more rigorous bit of testing than that.
Also, passed the flinch test for all of us up. There's Corey's at the back post. Ryan with the shot on goal, and it's a trickler that's just going to go wide.
Did take a little touch, I think.
Here's a corner kick. We could have hit that shot with the same amount of venom he nearly killed us up here with.
The ferocious hit into the glasses. The pressure continues here. The scoring might also. Well blocked away there. And another corner though. Repeat corners here as they go in search of goal number 8. Bending effort, deflected just over the bar. Just got it up and over.
I thought the defender got the last touch on that one, and so does Lapola, who's run to the near post, and Brown has run to the corner flag, but it has been given as a goal kick.
Yeah, funny one, that one. Couple of touches.
Referee having a different idea to some of the others on the pitch. Beachside again. And then Big Parry to take the goal kick. Long ball in the Andrews direction this time. Let substitute Moore's path. Warriors maintaining possession. We're not obviously keeping possession stats here tonight, but I reckon it'd be about 80-20 to the Warriors, and that might be slightly underselling it as the postman now charging down the line has Ryan available in the centre, and Jack Ryan gets his first goal of the night, the one the big Englishman has been waiting for, and you can tell his teammates are excited about that one. And he's finally got on the score sheet of what can now definitely be called a rout here, 8-1 to the Warriors. And he has been making those near post runs constantly all evening, waiting for a ball like that. And the postman, well, someone out there on the pitch who would have been overworked during COVID being the postman, and keeps delivering once again. There's that air horn a little bit longer there from Francis Thomas. Really extending that one for the 8th goal of the night.
It'll get progressively longer with each goal. I'm not sure, but we've heard it plenty of times tonight. It's been an impressive display from the Warriors, and Jack Ryan's been very hungry for a goal, and he gets his just reward, really. He's toiled hard up in attack. And on the score sheet, he goes.
Forward towards Moore. Kept in play by Bomford down the wing there. There is an option at the back post, and I think that's clearly just taken a touch off someone. I can't imagine wouldn't miss it in that way. Andrews missing it as well, with Dawu trying to run in behind Ellis. And safety first approach on the defender. Into the landscaping corner of Warrior Park. The postman will defer to O'Connor. Towards Herbert. The polar Ellis with the chance clearance. Staying on side. Here's O'Connor. Dawu. Towards Herbert. It's a roll inside against Fisher. Read that one well. With the experienced Beachside defender. O'Connor. Ryan with Dawu, the acrobatic clearance from Cox. Bomford whips it on and gets in front, keeps, and now lays to Bomford, but just misses his touch. But Warriors concede the throw in. It would have been in the outside of Warrior Park. Moore can't keep that one under control. Heads it forward. Brown towards Gorry, and Gorry should whack that into his teammate right in the ribs. Offside flag is up against the Beachside defender as it stands, still 2-1 for City against Strikers. Ryan flicking that one on, now getting the return ball and just getting it caught up in his feet, and then getting most of Andrews rather than the ball before having that shot of goal. Temperature must have dropped a fair bit outside. A lot of steam coming out of the players' mouths out there at the moment. Cox in no hurry to take this free kick. More the likely target on this occasion. Only as far as O'Connor, who keeps control of it and lays it out to Gorry. Went a little further in front of him. Looks up, plays a lovely ball down the line to Brown. Can he keep it in against Cox? It'll be a goal kick on this occasion. Beachside almost playing the time-wasting game as if they're 8-1 in front.
Trying to preserve it now at this point. Not reach double figures, perhaps.
It would be the only double-figure scoreline in this cup round, should it get to that stage. A couple of lopsided results in pre-season games already, and they would like to keep it to single digits. Fisher makes that one down a lot. Good defence again from Vandermeer. Connor seems to have moved into a holding midfield role for the moment. Brayton Allen taking his spot at left back, and the ball's just going to be over the head of rushing Bomford, who flicked across of his teammate. As we tick down the minutes remaining here at Warrior Park, I'm sure we'll see a few closer games here throughout the NPL season. Obviously, as mentioned, just the 14 rounds this year, playing each other home and away. It's real open if these cup games are anything to go by. Real open contest for the title. Warriors convincing winners and other likely title challenges, and Devonport and South Hobart having their struggles so far today. He's lovely raking ball by Brown towards Gorry. He's got Ryan ahead of him. Plenty of green shirts coming back. Brown looks up, thought about the cross, goes towards Herbert, who shoots and scores on his return to the club. Jacob Herbert making it 9 for the Warriors. And everyone's trying to get on the score sheet so far here tonight.
Pretty impressive by Brown in the build-up too. Just the movement of these Warriors players off the ball. They've just been unable to track them Beachside, and they're a pretty smooth moving side. These Warriors are going to give teams a lot of problems this year. And we've seen the arsenal at their disposal here this evening. Callum Brown, tipped for the medal. He's barely been fit ever since, but he's looking pretty sharp here tonight. And that bodes very well for Olympia this season, you'd imagine.
The ninth for Olympia FC Warriors with number 14, Jacob Herbert having a go.
Fisher, quite fine teammate there. Moore trying to keep it under control. Allen and Vandermeer back there to defend. The strikers, I suppose, for Warriors. It's only really the other substitute with Darbu yet on the score sheet. We'll see if they try to share it around and go for the 10th. It's Allen into O'Connor. Another new player to this Warriors side. It's some pretty impressive cohesion on display from these Warriors players, given it's their first, I guess, competitive game together for pretty much all of them. A lot of them weren't here last year, and that's Studs over the ankle there from Andrews. Whilst he got 90% of the ball, he also got a considerable portion of Adam Gorry there, and if you go up with Studs like that, it is a yellow card these days, regardless of how much of the ball you get. Not happy with the decision of Big Andrews. Probably a fair one from the referee, in line with the rule changes. Looks like O'Connor or Gorry will be the likely takers. Warriors, yes, they are after the 10th, not in a great hurry to take the. It's now O'Connor. Oh, it does fall to the head of Waddell, who defers to Ryan, who turns and shoots and manages to win a corner. Deflected off the Beachside player. Again, one thing I've noticed about the Warriors with their corners is they're all getting two players immediately running over, trying to create the overload in the short corner. And again, this one will go towards Gorry, creating more of an angle. Lovely ball and cleared by Andrews. As far as Allen. Wanted to play the slide ball towards Herbert. Moore went without it and kicked it to Allen in particular. Dummy from the Beachside player tracking back and just keeping Bomford up at the moment, and it's all hands on deck. Besides that, in their defensive area, as they try to prevent the double figure conceded. Wadawu with the back, lovely back heel, no one within 5 metres of it. Montford back to Scout. Laurie should be able to head this back to Darby Randall, a name I haven't said for about 25 minutes. He's really just trying to make it go a bit quicker there, but picking up the ball on that occasion. Ryan showing good bravery there with the head. As whilst with modern technology, you'd love someone up north to give a score update. I feel like we're kind of gone back about 20 odd years here at the moment, waiting for like the teletext to come up on the screen or something at night, radio the next day.
Well, my man Jamie Richardson, he's a Launceston City man, so he might be too busy celebrating to let me know, but really hanging out for an update.
Coley, if you're listening, you might be there from the Advocate. Anyone from the Examiner?
Jamie's...
Morse code, potentially.
Oh, hang on.
All right, I'll commentate while you do that as the corner's taken short towards Gorry, who probably has his worst touch of the night. Does fall to him eventually. This one will come back to Brown. Ryan at the back post. I thought he was going to allow it for a bicycle then. I thought that was going to be a bit ambitious. O'Connor towards Brown. And Ryan, don't think he got anything on that, and that'll be a goal kick. And judging by your furious typing, Andrew, you have a result.
Yeah, he was a bit busy celebrating as Launceston City have eliminated Devonport. 2-1 win to Launceston City. They held on. Robert Gerard with a double. Eddie Bidwell pulled one back for the Strikers, but City hold on and claim a 2-1 win. And the defending NPL champions and a team that's... they won two and made a cup final over the last 4 years, 1-2 and 1 runner-up. Obviously, a contentious cup final last year, to put it mildly, but they won't be taking part this year. So a big surprise there at Buckley Park. Plenty to think about for both those sides ahead of the NPL season.
Big night at the Italian club coming up in Prospect, and that will be the place to be in Launceston tonight, I think. Devonport trudging back up the Bass Highway. 1-0 win last week over Riverside, who got beat by University today, and then losing in the Cup. It's not the greatest pre-season form from Chris Gallo's men. We'll wait to see what they come up with next week when the league season starts. There's Herbert. Ryan and Wadawa in the box as well. No, nothing happening there. Tracking back from Herbert. Gorry available out wide, can play it through to Brown, will elect to go on the left peg. Think he wants to have a shot here, Gorry, and fumbled by the keeper and bundled home from Jack Ryan. And that makes it the big 1-0 for the Warriors. Fumbled by Burden. And Ryan there to slot home.
It's the 11th goal of the game and the second goal for number 9.
Double figures from the
Jack
Warriors.
Ryan.
It's a scoreline we don't see too often in competitive games. And one each side. They probably won't play a team of the calibre of the Warriors the rest of the season. Well, hopefully they don't drop their heads too much. They've always been a strong force in the Southern Championship. Bomford just turning into the opposition. And Tony Pert has blown full time. So a very late goal from Ryan makes it 10-1 to Olympia FC Warriors here tonight over Beachside. Hammer time Hamlet with a very impressive 5 goals, which almost seems like an eternity ago. Subbed off after a near hour on the field. Ryan picking up a double. And more goals from the Warriors with Herbert. It's their new re-signing. Getting on the score sheet as well. A comprehensive display. Beachside in it for probably minutes 10 to 30 of the game, but otherwise it was all one-way traffic, Andrew.
Yeah, they hung in there for a little while. They got back to 1-1 and blocked a heap of shots. We're looking pretty resilient at that point, but Warriors soon skipped away and the damn walls burst apart. Pretty comprehensive victory. So just running through today's scores as all the action comes to an end here. 20 cup games. Saturday of football. It was Taroona 8-1 over Metro. It was South Hobart 4-2 over Launceston United, coming back from a 2-1 deficit with 3 late goals. University 4-0 over Riverside. Hobart United 4-1 over Somerset. Glenorchy Knights 5-0 over Northern Rangers. Kimber Lions 5-1 over the Clarence Zebras. Plenty for them to think about ahead of the NPL season. Launceston City 2-1 win over Devonport. And a big night at the Italian Club coming up, as you would indicate there, Paul. It's going to be rocking tonight. Olympia here, 10-1 victors over Beachside. The Women's Statewide Cup, it was Kingborough 7-0 over Somerset. University 3-0 over Taroona. Riverside 5-3 over Metro. Northern Rangers 4-0 over Launceston City. Clarence Zebras 7-0 over Devonport. Olympia 4-0 over Ulverston. And in the statewide 20s, Riverside 2-1 over Clarence. Olympia 5-0 over Taroona. Kingborough 2-1 over Northern Rangers. After extra time, Glenorchy Knights with a 119th minute winner against Launceston City. And Devonport coming back with 2 late goals to beat Beachside 3-2 and over Ulverston. That rounds out the day's action as the local football returns. Thank you for tuning in to the stream this evening. Bit of a test run ahead of the NPL season. There'll be an exciting announcement on that front early next week, but big news for big fans of the live stream. But from us here at Warrior Park, stay tuned to Slice of Cheese for all your local coverage. I've been Andrew Cooling. Joining me has been Paul Hunt, and that's all for now.